RPN is not responsible for the views, actions, opinions, or statements of its guests or advertisers. The information contained in this program is not to be construed as medical or legal advice. An appearance on this show is not to be considered an endorsement, and as always, you are encouraged to do your own research. Enjoy the show. Good evening, Patriots. And welcome to another edition of Friday Night Livestream. It's a hot one tonight, guys. I mean physically, but also the subject matter is banging. My buddy JasonwasaGentile is making his return to the program. Ooh, we had an Epic Times commercial. That's awesome. Do me a favor, guys. Don't forget to like and share this broadcast. Help us break through the algorithm. Casey Anon says, Marf is in the hospital with intestinal issues. Please pray for him. Thank you for beating me to the punch. We all need to pray for Marfugel. Just saw the video when I was out walking the dogs. He is in the hospital. Angel Eyes, we're going to talk about the membership issues too. All right, gang. Please, everyone, sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. I don't know about everyone, but during this lockdown, many people have started doing a lot of things differently. Their old lives, like a daily commute to the office, just aren't happening. Some of you, I'm sure, don't miss the drive that much. Talking to a lot of people on Zoom, of course, they feel the same way about many things, and they've been recommending apps and favorite TV shows or YouTube channels and other ways of making life better, or at least tolerable. And not just for now, but on an ongoing basis. If you've seen the returns on the stock market since the beginning of the year, since the virus hit, it's very clear that the old ways aren't working too well anymore. The Fed is having to prop up returns. It's pumped trillions of dollars into a system to try to avoid what looks like an inevitable collapse. You can't have 20% unemployment. That's over 26 million jobs. 26 million without massive fallout. You can't spend trillions bailing out businesses with no consequences. Something has to give, and it will. So we have a secure way to guard our wealth, our savings, and our investments. Gold, silver, palladium, and platinum have proven to be safe haven investments. It's the only investment with appreciating value during an economic collapse. If you're interested in securing your wealth, call Noble Gold Investment today at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347, or visit our website, noblegoldinvestments.com. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I want to say a special thank you to the mods and everybody who was here hanging out with the comfy chat prior to the broadcast. Jason, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here, too.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm so stoked to be visiting and hanging out with you tonight.
I am super stoked that you are here as well. Now, it's been a while since you've been here, dude. It's been a real crazy world since the last time we were chilling.
Yeah.
So the country finally is starting to open back up. That's a great thing, you know. But I mean, what have you been doing this whole time? I mean, have you been working? Have you just been hanging out at the house? I mean, what's the deal?
Dude, so I'm in Arizona, and so we're opening. We're pretty much open. On the 15th, everything's going to loosen up pretty much. The stay-at-home order is going away.
Okay.
People are going to restaurants on Monday. and salons. I got a haircut on Monday.
Oh, I'm so
Beautiful
jealous.
thing.
So jealous.
Who would have knew?
How long was it before? I mean, because I've never seen you with anything but short hair.
Well, yeah. So I went through my Eddie Munster phase for a while.
I can imagine. I mean, I'm working on a mullet right now. I'm not gonna lie.
So my wife gave me a haircut in the bathroom, and it was reasonable. But I was combing my hair with the mobster haircut for a while.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah, I'm using lots of bro cream on a daily basis.
Yeah. So everything's going good. I am feeling super optimistic now. I have family that's in New York, and so I'm still talking to family members that are in straight up full on quarantine, and I'm on my way out. So I feel that I have some special insight maybe for people who are in quarantine right now to kind of just say, hey, guys, this is what it's like to be on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, what about work though? Where did you take a couple of months off? Yeah.
So work just grinded to a straight up halt. So I haven't actually really done any work for about 60 days. Any work that resembles a paycheck.
Sure.
So my wife and I, we study Dave Ramsey we've been going pretty heavy with the Dave Ramsey program for about 5 years.
Good, man.
And so, it just occurred to me the other day we were driving, and I was like talking to my wife, and I was like, we're living through the time if you're fortunate enough to save up some money, this is it. Oh my gosh, this is it. So
that's awesome. Good for you guys, man. I'm glad everything was okay. Because I mean, we talk about this a lot on the channel. I mean, everybody's weighing in. Obviously, for some people, it was getting that little stimulus check or whatever you want to call it, the economic disaster income payment, whatever it was, that helped a lot of people out. Some people were fortunate to continue to work through here. I mean, it seems like a lot of people actually were able to continue working from home, and it seems like the economy is kind of going to change in that direction. Like a lot of people, if you could work from home, now you're going to have to continue to keep working from home, which I was saying earlier, I don't know that that's a good thing, really. I think that for some people, obviously, you want to miss that commute. Great. You don't need to do it anymore. You just continue to work from home. But other people, I think that, going to work every day and having that social interaction, getting to, hang out with other people, that's really good for them. I've been working alone essentially since 2012. So nothing much changed. I mean, I just continued to hang out at my house, but it has been very noticeable. I mean, I'm on edge more than I ever have been, and it's knowing that I am not allowed to go out, or knowing that when I have to go out, I have to wear a mask. What are they doing with the laws there, or the rules and regulations in terms of face coverings and stuff?
So it's a suggestion, pretty much. So, so basically as a citizen walking around, it's, you've got these people. I was commenting the other day that at least a thought was happening where the mask in Arizona, to me, the mask is almost like the MAGA hat, where the person you've got your people that are wearing the masks in their car with the windows up.
That's ridiculous.
I agree with you. That's their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've got the people, the bike riding in Arizona and the going to the park is at an all-time high. Now we're tipping, we've been hitting 100 degrees, so, but throughout the month of March, when it's like 70 degrees, it's like San Diego weather, I had never seen so many people at the parks. Like, wow, record numbers at the parks, throughout the whole month of March, record people at the parks, distancing, so yeah. So, and then now at the grocery store, it's like, I saw a guy with, now I don't want to paint this apocalyptic, picture, but I did see one guy at the grocery store with the sanding mask, the one with the sides on the bit.
I've seen more than one person wearing those. Yeah. The full vapor mask. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we locked eyes too at the grocery store. I was like, oh, and so to me, it's almost like now the way that I perceive it now is it's almost like the it kind of tells you where you're at. It kind of shows the world where you're at in your head. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like the MAGA hat, where when you rock a MAGA hat, you're telling everybody that you support Donald Trump,
right?
And you're telling everybody that you're joining the fight against socialism to protect their constitutional rights and fight the deep state. pretty much.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, the mask is also saying something too. If it's not forced on you, if it's your choice, the mask is also saying that I'm buying into a certain narrative.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It totally is.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I just been noticing that, and it's all good. Rock the mask, bro. You want to rock the mask? Rock the mask. It's all good. Whatever.
If it makes you feel safer, I don't have any problems with it. It's just that I don't personally want to have to do it. And maybe it would be different if I actually had some N95 masks. But all I have are some old bandanas that my mom's dog used to wear. He was a wonderful dog, Einstein. I absolutely love that boy. But now I was wearing like a Santa Claus, you know, like a bunch of little Santa Claus on a green bandana today when I went to the store. I had to buy some dog food and get some contractor bags. It was incredible. Method said, Jason not singing his name at the beginning is garbage. Dude, that's right. What happened, dude? We got to start over.
Dude, let's do the intro one more time. One more time.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another edition of Friday Night Livestream. Joining me live in the studio is my good friend, Jason Was a Gentile. Jason, how are you, buddy?
Jason was a Gentile.
Oh man, it's been so long I forgot.
Early on that.
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Well, listen, let me do a couple of quick thank yous here. Okay, so Angel Eye says, I got a message that my membership was paused. Your membership definitely looks like it's no longer in effect. So over the course of the last several days, memberships and super chats and super stickers on the channel have been paused, and then I've had to unpause them. I don't know who's doing it, but someone is definitely doing it because it's something that you have to manually turn off. Nobody else has access to my account. I've got two-factor authorization on, so you have to send a text message to my phone to log in, and I don't, you know, so I mean that leaves me with one strong possibility. Somebody is sending me a message. It's a fairly strong message, you know? I mean, it could only be somebody with access to the back end. That must be an employee at a company whose name we shall not say. But I mean, that's the only thing that makes any sense to me. You know, I mean, I don't give anybody else access to my account. Any computers that I'm logged into are in my, you know, direct vicinity. So it has, it's been kind of a crazy couple of days. I don't know if you heard, but a lot of channels got hit, you know, in the last couple of weeks, month, many channels, but yesterday specifically, or the day before, in the last 2 days, something like at least 15 to 20 channels got hit, got demonetized. They lost their partnership with the YouTube partner program. So it's a scary time, you know. I mean, and here's the thing. I had people asking me because they didn't want to send the money through YouTube. So I set up a Patreon long time ago. And that's always in the description. Some people said that they didn't want to support Patreon, so they asked me to start a Subscribe Star. So I started a Subscribe Star. Now that's down there too. And of course, there's always the PayPal in the Cash App. But the thing about the live streams is that you get to read the super chats out loud, and it's like you're interacting directly when you've got, you know, we got almost 2,000 people here right now, and for that many people to be here, there's just no way that I could, you know, read everybody's messages. I try to catch them as they're going by, you know, and let me know if the chat's going too fast, guys. I can go ahead and slow this down. But, you know, when I look over here and Angel Eye says, I got a message that my membership was paused, you know, I can directly say something about that. Casey Anon says that Marf is in the hospital with intestinal issues. Please pray for him. Yeah, you guys, if you don't know who Marf is, that's Marf from Marfugal News. Adam from Marfugal News. He is in the hospital. I think they said diverticulitis, and perhaps he has a rupture in his intestines. So this is similar to what happened to me a couple months ago. Back in March, I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and that was scary. That was real scary right then. So I know what he's going through, and definitely please keep him in your prayers. You know, keep him in your thoughts. And Ida Wright says, thanks for all you do to wake up Americans. God bless you and keep you. Thank you very much, Ida. I do appreciate it. Hang on just a second. I need to make sure that nobody sent a message on PayPal. But, you know, so I think that the moral of the story here is, Jason, that, you know, despite all of the trials and tribulations that you've been put through, that the country's been put through, you guys are doing fine. It's good to know that you and your wife are in a good place. What about the people around you? You know, I mean, does it seem like the people of your community are in a good place mentally? Have you noticed, you know, businesses maybe preparing to reopen? I mean, do you think that the landscape is going to significantly change because of the lockdown?
I've seen a bunch of this stuff going on. So I'm seeing people who are, retired, and they're just like, yeah, another day in the life. I'm also seeing people on the part-time, where they have a part-time job, and this part-time job is or teeter-totters on part-time, maybe almost barely full-time, sometimes part-time.
Yeah.
And these people, I'm seeing reactions from those. So I interacted with the guy. I do interact frequently with the guy who, the way everything landed for him was just unfortunate. It was like, he got the flu like in January and February, because flu season in Arizona usually hits around then, right? So you're always kind of trying to dodge the flu in the first quarter of the year. Everybody within our circle had got the flu, me included, and then we were like done for. But he was dodging it, drinking the elderberry syrup the whole time and like laughing about it.
I did that too.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he successfully dodged it, right? And then like legit like March 5, because to me like March 11th is a big day, And so so then he caught some flu-like symptom. So then he didn't come back to work for about 14 days.
Oh wow.
And then he hadn't been with the company for a full year, right? And he worked for his father in real estate. So he didn't claim anything on his taxes the year before. So this is unemployment claim implications.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where he's at. So then when I hadn't seen him for like 30 days, like in person. And then when I saw him, he was like in a whole nother headspace. He was just like, sometimes when things are hitting people left and right, where it's like, I'm not making any money. The news is freaking me out. I've moved away from home. I'm in my early 20s. And then when you get a chance to be with a group of people, you just let it roll. You just let it rip. It's like you're telling everybody all your problems.
Of course.
Yeah. So, so I was seeing that and versions of that. Then I know another guy who, late 20s, early 30s, really smart guy. And he was just basically doing the Howard Hughes from the movie Aviator?
Letting his fingernails grow?
Yeah, he was doing that. Like his little version of that,
Right.
When I talked to him on the phone, he was just like bugging. He was full on bugging. Like his mom is a nurse in Connecticut, and he's telling me on the phone, and he struggles with depression. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. He's telling me that his mom is leaving her shoes at the front door.
What?
So she's afraid she's going to walk the CO into the house. And then her husband, he's telling me that her husband has put a plastic wrap around the inside of the windows.
Oh God! Like so it's a nuclear fallout.
Yeah, these are the people that are advising him, like his parental unit. So anyway, seen that, and then on the flip side of that, I've totally seen this total blasé attitude. You know what I mean? And so I really think it's just about how hard you break. My opinion. I think it's about how hard you're breaking out of the matrix, whether or not you're ready to break out of the matrix or not.
Right.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of like that.
Absolutely. I mean, for some people, it's, it's just another day in the park. But for other people, it really was like, the world was ending. And then for other people, it was like, like this is confirmation, like now everything makes sense. So. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, did you happen to see that thing from Dr. Birx the other day? Deborah Birx. I mean, there's a lot of hate for Dr. Deborah Birx out there right now. And I always, reserve judgment until I, get some evidence or something like that. But she was quoted as saying that she couldn't believe anything the CDC said because she said that they were inflating the numbers by up to 25%. And I was like, well, who just red-pilled Dr. Birx? I mean, like, that's not what you would expect her to say at all.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
I've been following everything very closely because I got nothing better to do. But it's like, I'm really surprised, because you remember when everything was first going down, it was like Dr. Birx and Fauci front and center.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, I never even heard of these people until all of a sudden, and I just like with some of her outfits though, man, I'm just like, some of Dr. Birx's outfits aren't working for me, man.
She's got her own unique style, I mean, I'm not going to falter. That's what works for her, I mean, she's been ready for it for a long time. Angel Eyes says, well, here I ain't letting them take your money. Where we go one, we go all. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, Angel Eyes. Then Dana Finkler, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you for a couple weeks. Life is good. Hope all is well with you guys. Where we bark one, we bark all. Muffin. Yeah, Dana, you missed hashtag Muffingate. There was an event that happened. Was it last weekend? Did you see that one, Jason?
A little bit.
The dogs got into a fight live on the air. I couldn't believe it. Last time I broke them up, I got bit. I've got like scars right there from Muffin. I couldn't believe it. Muffin has never, maybe, if you're coming in between her and a pig ear or something like that, you got to be careful. But she, she bit my arm when I pulled her away from Chi-Chi, and then she realized what it was she had in her mouth, and she was like, oh no, sorry, Dad, sorry. And but this time I was like, there's no way I'm sticking my hands in between these dogs. Here's the thing. Muffin is half Jack Russell. Chi-Chi is a full-blooded Chihuahua. Those are both rat catcher dogs, so like their instinct is to get a hold of that neck and then just shake until it snaps, okay? And then it's game over. So as long as they're both going at each other, neither of them is ever going to give up. So I had to finally scoop Muffin up, and I just carried her off out of here. It was insane. But my guest, he was the best. I mean, he was... He just like kept going with his story. As soon as I got her away, he just kept the show going. It was so funny. So great. Let's see. Red Pills Warhawk. What's up, brother? He says, bro, Teespring is making me a Muffingate shirt. I had to do it. That is awesome, dude. I was thinking about doing the same thing. So once you're done with it, I definitely want to see it. Hashtag Muffingate. That's going to be the next one. Kenneth Chamberlain says, Knights Templar sleeper cell. Are you saying that there is a sleeper cell that's been discovered, or are you just speaking in general that we have a Knights Templar sleeper cell? Knights Templar is one of those crazy subjects that I feel like, they've been often talked about, but of course I've never met anyone who's a Knights Templar or even claims to be. So I don't know. I don't know where to find any legitimate information about the Knights Templar.
It's almost like the best place you can look, and I hate to say this because I don't think it's a good place, but it's like the Da Vinci Code.
Oh, right.
It's almost like the best place to find this info.
Da Vinci Code. I need to watch that movie with, fresh eyes after all these years. Kenneth Chamberlain, thanks, buddy. He says, Dana Finkler, I never left, buddy. Just made peace. I saw it. Okay, good stuff, man. Glad to hear it. Let's see. I need to say thank you to Dennis for that donation on PayPal. Also, Shireen, thank you for that. And then there was somebody else, too, that Dennis, Shireen, and there was another one. I don't know where. Oh, Dana as well. Thank you very much, Dana. Appreciate that. So I understand, Jason, that you've got a new song for us tonight.
Yeah, man, I've got this jam for all those party people that are needing a little bit of quora. That's our slang for the teen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't put the syllables together.
Right.
But yeah, it's got like a Long Beach chilled out vibe, because if you have to be sitting at home for a good while, your vibe goes from like 120 BPMs down to like maybe 80 BPMs.
I feel you.
So the music will reflect that.
All right, sweet. Well, listen, I'm going to cue this up. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Love it.
They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. I'll be riding in the whip two-seater. Wife by my side, Lord Jesus, I need her. Fear is in the air so thick you feel it, but I got hope so I bag it and deal it. The media is so predictable, bro, it is boring me. So we joyride, breaking out that quarantine. Windows down, then we turn it up and sing this loud. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. Yes, I am a Christian, but I stay strapped though. When crime is on the rise at my back door, I pray to God that I never have to use it. I'm a pacifist, but I ain't foolish. Hey, Trump is killing the game, and we need more of him. And we need hydroxychloroquine. And at the right time, God will step in and stop that bioweapon. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. My foundation is way too strong, and Jesus to be strong along. If chaos ensues, I will never be lost, cause I'll stay focused on the cross. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down.
Jason, that was excellent, dude. Another premium jam from Jason Was a Gentile. I gotta say, I love the little Star Wars infused lyric scroll that you did there. But the lyrics are awesome. The sound. Hold on, I gotta stop Ingram Angle from coming back on. The lyrics are great. The beat's great. The melody's great. You know, has being on lockdown increased your artistic output? Have you been putting out more songs?
Yeah, I've got some just chilling there, just laying there. Like I recorded one the other day called the Ballad of the Great Awakening.
Oh, nice.
And it's a little pitchy. I feel like a girl needs to sing it, but yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I recorded a pop country song last night.
Oh, cool.
And it was like, oh, yeah, it's for my, it's a love song. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And, that's the thing, too, is that great art, that picture in the background, the one of the empowered man, that's by a guy named John McNaughton. And he has got some sweet, like, hand-painted art on his website.
It looks familiar to me. I feel like I've seen other works by him.
Yeah, he's like totally underrated. Like nobody knows about the guy. They don't know. They see his pictures, but they don't know his name. I've been cruising his website for a couple months now. His name's John McNaughton, in case anybody's interested. But you can get like several $100 paintings and hang these paintings in your home. And so
look at this, you guys. Cool. Shoot, hang on. I have to actually make it so people can see it. But notice Barry in the background there. He's holding his hands up as if like he's in fear of the Constitution. Meanwhile, our founding fathers over on this side with Ronald Reagan in the background. We've got Bill Clinton turning away. JFK is just in the frame right there. Where is President Trump? We got FDR, looks like over here. And then I believe that's Woodrow Wilson right behind him. George W. Bush, and then what's his name? The guy who took over from JFK. I am totally blanking on his name. Johnson. Yeah, President Johnson. And then I couldn't tell you which one this is right here that I'm blocking. Right there. But the only thing that I'm wondering is, where is President Trump in this whole situation? He's in the White House.
Yeah, he's chilling in the White House.
Yeah.
Right. The thing I love about this piece of art, I mean, this is art. So what you were saying was, is any good music coming out of this quarantine? Well, the thing is, when there's great struggle, when you get to the point as an artist to where you're not trying to, whatever your art is, whether it's painting or songwriting or poems or anything, when you're just saying what you're thinking, you're no longer trying to project this image that you're trying to create maybe for radio, or what does a pop song sound like? Okay, well, this is what's on the radio, so this is a theme I need to write. When you get to the point to where you're comfortable enough in your own thoughts, in your own skin, to where you can say what you're actually thinking and put that out, because it's just like wearing a MAGA hat, man. It's also just like going to the grocery store without a mask when you don't want to wear a mask. It's in the same vein. And that picture, what I see, at least currently right now, is I see this guy standing here with the Constitution. He's throwing out his rights here, right here, just like that salon owner in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, no, I'm not going to close. And then what happens? She gets arrested, right? And then she maybe she chills in the slammer for an afternoon or something, and then she gets set free, right? And then she gets a GoFundMe page for $500,000. Someone set this thing up for her. But what did she do? She said, I have inalienable rights that are given to me by my creator, and this is built into my rights system at this country. And this stay-at-home order is not a law. It's not. But people are saying it's a law, right? So she's understanding this maybe, and then she's going, you know what, rights. And then, but there's blowback. There's blowback that she received, but at the end of the day, the Constitution trumped it.
I can't believe I was muted for that. What I said, I said she exercised a small amount of civil disobedience and stood up for the rights of all Americans and for the people of the world, really, because those rights are given to us by God, and then they are enforced by man. But the fact that she was willing to do that, I mean, it really set a precedent in people's minds. You know, I think that there are a lot of people who are afraid to do something like that. But if all of us just decided, you know, we're going to go to work, we're going to go out, we're going to open up our businesses, we're going to get the economy rolling again, then they wouldn't be able to stop us. They wouldn't be able to stop everyone all at the same time. And I know in certain places, some people are going to end up in jail. Some people are going to maybe even be hurt, you know? But I mean, like, when you look at what it is that we're fighting for and what we're trying to do here, it's far more important. And, you know, to that point, I had a tweet that I wanted to show, which is this guy, Harlan Z. Hill. And I want you to tell me what you think of it. So he said, no president has been reelected with an unemployment rate as high as ours today, with the exception of FDR in 1936. If you are a real Donald Trump supporter, as I am, this should further motivate you to get the economy back open now. Win or lose by the economy. What do you think about that? I mean, do you think that people are going to be willing to stand up, not only for our economy, but for the future of our country?
Absolutely. I think that we've always, throughout this journey here since Trump got elected, we've always been, yes, the economy is important to us, but we've always been focused on the larger mission. And, you know, so I think it's very clear, even middle of the road people, it's very clear what's been going down here recently. Like they're in this little, the little plan, the plan -demic, you know, so it's like, I believe that we're going to see a landslide, and we're also rolling with him no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's artificial, like Trump keeps saying, it's artificial, things going down like this, but we are like he keeps saying, we've seen the man do this with the supply side economics, you know, which is wildly different than what we've been seeing with the Democratic in the previous administration. It wasn't the supply side economics that got things going. That was a radical shift, and it was a major paradigm shift that this administration, that's how we got things going. You know, more supply, more demand, more workers, you know? And so, yeah, for sure. No, I think we're rolling with the guy. And I think transitional third quarter, really great fourth quarter, awesome beginning of the year. I think when Trump says these things, I think that a lot of his base are like, yeah, makes perfect sense. Let's get it going.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. We need to. And I think, you know, you look to places like Arizona, you look to places like Wisconsin, they're doing the right thing. You know, Arizona is, you know, opening up a little slower, but Wisconsin, they just took it straight to the Supreme Court. We need to have people who are willing to do that in other states. California, another lockdown for another 90 days. That's absolutely insane. I don't know how they're going to survive. My heart goes out to the people of California, you know, the good conservative people of California, and even the liberals in California, because they're still Americans. They're still human beings. We got to do something about this, and there's a way to go about it. And I think that people banding together, deciding that they're going to, for the sake of the country, open back up, get back out there and start working, they're not going to be able to stop us. We need to do it. It reminds me of the scene from California when there were people on the beach being held back by the police. And one lone woman with a flag decided to break through the blockade, and they were arresting her, and then all of the other people came out onto the beach. And what did they do? They let her go. Okay? They weren't going to be able to arrest her at that point because they couldn't arrest everybody else. We need to get this country moving again. And, I think that if we find ourselves in a state of lockdown still, by the time we get to the election, the mainstream media is going to be putting it out there as if President Trump is to blame for everything, because it doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter what gains we have. It doesn't matter, what losses we have. They're all going to be whatever the losses are. That's the only thing they're going to be reporting on. So we must get the country moving. We must get the country back open again. And what's most important, besides the fact that, the economy has to be in a good shape, is that we have to have the right to physically go and vote at the ballot box. If anyone, please do not fall for having your mail-in vote sent, okay? You must physically go and walk your ballot up to whoever it is that's going to collect it and make sure you get a receipt, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to make sure. And a paper ballot, okay? No electronic ballots. It's got to be a paper ballot. You got to get yourself a receipt. There's got to be a paper trail. There's got to be something for them to look at, because as soon as we allow them to do the mail-in voting, I think we're sunk.
Yeah, for sure. I've been, of course, we've been all eyeballing this. My wife and I have been talking about voter ID for almost 3 years, and we'd always been wondering, but do you think that, there's going to be, do you see any changes on that? Because I'm seeing like Nevada, how all these thousands of ballots are just stacking up at the post office, and how like Newsom is pushing for this, and it seems like it's working for him. Like, do you see that any way that the Trump administration is going to be able to change that? Like, I haven't figured anything out. How are we going to do? What are we going to do?
I think that the idea right now is to get as many states open as possible. And then in the states where they will not agree to open up, there's going to be legal challenges. And I think that in states where the people themselves don't necessarily bring legal challenges, I think the Department of Justice is going to take care of it in the other states. And I think that having a voter ID is a must. I mean, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten that taken care of yet. That is just a key element of making sure that, only people who are allowed to vote are going to be able to vote. Let me just do a couple of quick thank yous here. Dustin Byers says, Italy calls for arrest of Bill Gates. Search this. I have not heard that yet, but I certainly will search that in just a moment. Kenneth Chamberlain says, Knights Templar Sleeper Cell. Yes, on Facebook. I don't go on Facebook, Kenneth, so whatever else you can give us in terms of information, man, I'd be very interested. Righteous Right says, we really need to organize protests outside the news media studios and hold them accountable. Did you happen to see the footage the other day from the White House press briefings, where there was multiple days? There was also in the posts, we had a couple of still pictures, where the reporters, as soon as the cameras turned off for the public, they all just took their masks off.
Yeah. Yes, I did see that. And, Q keeps the numero 17 keeps always making me think about stuff, like from day one, whether it's groupthink, whatever it's about, you know what I'm saying? Whether, you got to let the people see it before and not just attack the narrative from the beginning. Like, Q has always been doing this to me, like everybody else too. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, snap. Yeah, for sure. But what's funny is I missed the press conference this morning because my wife and I've watched every single press conference for the last, I don't know, forever a bit. And every single day, it's been one of our routine things that's kind of anchored us a little bit. And I noticed The Guardian, I think it's The Guardian or something. So I went onto YouTube just to watch the press conference from this morning, which he's been really on a roll today. But I noticed that they were letting the camera chill in the beginning for a good while everyone was seated and everyone was wearing their masks, all the reporters. And I couldn't help but think to myself, like, you guys, it's on the radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you guys are letting us see all this footage just so we can counteract what info just recently came out. That's what I was thinking.
I can see it. I can see it. Just so you guys know, I don't see anything about Italy calling for the arrest. If that's something that you can send me by email, that's a reputable source, that would be great. Shane Preston says, wow, you even sound good muted. Magic. Thanks, Shane. Shane also says, I shall kayak in Oceanside, California this weekend, watch the news, and be watching the water. That is awesome. So yeah, definitely, Shane, make sure you take your GoPro or whatever small camera you have so that you can get that footage, man. I would totally broadcast it. That's cool. I'm a kayaker too. I love kayaking, both ocean and lake. Patricia Furlong says, want to plan Patriot meetings in Colorado. You know, I like the idea of people putting together these meetups and being able to, you know, make these associations, these friendships outside of Twitter or Facebook or the internet, YouTube, whatever it is. But you know, there's a part of me also that thinks it's a little scary, you know, because you never know who's doing the organizing. I think about COINTELPRO. I think about the idea of infiltration instead of invasion, or you know, I mean, I know that not everybody who calls themselves part of this movement is a good person. You know, I mean, like, there are people who maybe have ill intent. There are people who are perhaps very damaged individuals. Just recently, there's been somebody in Arizona who's gathered a lot of attention and claims to be a representative of, you know, what we have going on here. So it's something you got to be very careful of. So I guess, you know, I mean, have you ever met anyone in person, like, you know, as a result of, you know, like becoming friends online, or maybe somebody that, you know, recognized you from the street or something like that, be like, hey, I've seen you on YouTube?
No, I'd be super hesitant. That's kind of like in the same vein of like flicking through the Plenty of Fish app, or like one of those dating apps, and just meeting anyone that swipes right on you.
Sure.
It's like, we need to use some discernment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I actually did meet somebody just a couple weeks ago. A real Red Pill girlfriend and I were in Big Lots, and somebody recognized me, and I gave her a shout out on the show. I forgot her name. It's in my phone though. But yeah, she was a real nice lady, and it was really funny. She came up, and I was looking at this stuff for dogs, and she was like, be careful, it's not from China. They've been trying to kill our dogs for years. And I was like, you're right. Like, how did I not even think of that? And then we walked away, and she was like, hey, wait. You look just like Red Pill 78. Has anybody ever told you that? And I just started laughing, because my girl was, she was like, you know, put in something nice in case somebody recognizes you. And I was like, no one's gonna recognize me. It's never happened in my life. And then, of course, the day that I look like a homeless person, somebody recognizes me. I couldn't believe it, but it was a lot of fun, you know? I mean, I'm glad it was a good experience, you know, because the idea of just, you know, doing a meetup or something like that, I mean, you never know who's going to be organizing that stuff. Patricia Furlong, I trust you implicitly. So if you're putting together a meetup, then I'm going to tell everybody that you can probably have nothing to worry about. Patricia's a great lady. She's been part of the channel for a long time. But yeah, you know, it's just something I've often thought about. I mean, I've heard other people say, you know, I mean, what if it's the FBI or something like that, you know? I mean, somebody trying to entrap you. You think about the FBI under James Comey specifically. How many people did they, you know, stop or thwart, you know, T attacks, you know, by basically taking somebody who has a learning disability and then giving them a pizza box full of clock parts and telling them that they could use it to build something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's one thing, like, there's this YouTube channel we like to watch. It's called Sailing Zatara. They have meetups. You know, they fly around, they sail around the world, they have meetups. It's a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And their fan base actually meets up. And then they have this little Q&A session where they sit up there. That's a sailing show, okay? It's not a part of an information channel that is disseminating, you know, the truth, or at least causing people to think critically on your channel. Yeah. It's not like a sailing channel. You know, so you kind of got to be a little bit more discerning when you're, you know, getting it going, when you're just meeting a stranger. I personally don't like to be like, you know, I don't know. If let's say my music popped off, whatever. Don't care. I do care if it does, but it's not a big deal. But the music is for the movement. That's what's up. But it's like, and then someone's like, "Oh, Jason was a Gentile." I probably actually, you know what? Yeah, there was an experience at a Bible study at a nursing home that I had. Yeah, this is exactly this. Okay, life lesson. Quick, real quick.
Okay.
So we some people from my church. We were going to a nursing home, right? Local nursing home. We're singing Amazing Grace. I was playing guitar and stuff like that, and things like that. And then as we were leaving, for some reason, my wife and I went out the other end of the building than everybody else. And this guy walks up to me. He starts asking me questions. And I was like, "Oh, no, bro, no. He's like, "Do you think anyway." And then I hugged him at the end, right? I mean, that's what you do. It's the love of Christ just shining through me. You know what I mean?
Oh, I feel you.
And then so I hugged him like one of these deals, and he got a hold of me. And he had me in a bear hug. And I was like, he was stronger than me. And I was like caught in this bear hug, and he wouldn't release me. Right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh crap, what did I do? Like because even Jesus, like, he would split sometimes. Like, he'd be in front of a huge crowd. He would. He would split sometimes, dude. He'd be like talking to like 5,000 people.
Right.
People would start getting nuts, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm out."
You can take these bags of loaves and fishes, and I'm gone. You know.
Yeah, he totally did split. Actually, it's funny. Yeah, but anyway, so it's like when you're caught in a bear hug with someone. So I just
you're very vulnerable.
Yeah, true story for sure.
Yeah. And
so I get nervous. I like to hit strangers up with the pound.
That's something that I would do as well. Yeah. Or maybe the elbow, even, considering today's climate.
For sure. Or even I've been seeing people like do the foot, like hit each other's feet.
I would laugh so hard if I saw somebody do that. Oh, man. All right. Thank you. So, Patricia, if you do a meetup, let me know, and I'll tell people here on the channel that you want to get together. Colorado is a beautiful state. I used to live in Boulder years ago. After high school, I moved out to Boulder for a summer, and I was planning on staying there. But, man, it is expensive there if you don't have, like, any real discernible life skills. I had plenty of part-time jobs because I was in high school, but, I mean, nothing that I could survive out there. Let's see. Mr. Spock says Republicans could have voter ID in the first half of the year if the rhinos were not fighting against him. Ridiculous. Absolutely true. And this just goes back to the idea that just because somebody calls themselves a Republican, or even just because they call themselves a Democrat, it doesn't really necessarily give you any insight as to who they are. Look at their record. That's what you really need to look into. L. Thompson says, Jason, my daughter can help you write songs.
Yeah, I get emails like that. Yeah. So if that's what you think, swing over to JasonwasaGentile.com. There's a contact tab. Hit the contact tab. Send me an email, and if it's a right fit, we'll do something.
Right on. Good stuff. Freight Awakening, what's up, buddy? SoCal here. Love being the guinea pig for the NWO. What do you guys think of the Trump admin resuming WHO funding? Not sure what good comes of that. I said this earlier today, not specifically in relation to this, but just in general. I trust President Trump. I trust his instincts. If we are resuming funding to the WHO, there must be some reason. There's leverage involved there. The United States, the people of this country, we're getting something in return. Okay, perhaps it was. I don't know how much money we're giving them. I mean, I would imagine that there's maybe a reduced amount. Maybe perhaps the China that gave us the situation that we're in right now. Maybe they're paying more. I don't know. I would personally like to see them defunded 100%. I mean, what's your gut instinct on that, Jason?
Mine is it's the what do they call it, the Occam's razor, or something? Occam's razor. Yeah. So let's look at the simple solution there. Trump has laid it out pretty clear. Like, we're giving the WHO a whole bunch of funding. China's giving them like 43 million or whatever. We're sitting at 150 or something like that. And like, you know what I'm saying? There does seem to be, the way things played out, it does kind of seem like there's like this extra loyalty to China.
Oh yeah.
And so just by looking at the simple solution, I'm kind of like, okay, let's chill. But also, I'm always having to remind myself this. I'm not sitting in classified conversations with the president.
No, we're not. There is definitely things taking place behind the scenes that we are not privy to. Okay, my security clearance is 0. I don't get anything that's classified. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right there. But I would like to see it defunded. I don't think that we need to be
Same here.
Somebody in the chat said it's only now as much as China is getting. Also, defund NPR. Yes. I would like to see NPR defunded. If they're going to be public radio, I think they need to be impartial. They clearly are not. It's high time that we stopped funding the partisan antics of the left. Let's say thanks again, Fredo. Dustin Byers says Italian government calls for the arrest of Bill Gates. Search YouTube. Okay. If it's on YouTube and it's not anywhere else, guys, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call an audible on that one. I know that people will do and say things on YouTube. They'll put a story out there. Maybe it's from a website called Sorcha Fall. If it is, that website's pure disinformation. They will take a story with a nugget of truth and then build an elaborate narrative around it. So if you ever read a news article and it says sources in the Kremlin say, then you can tell right there it's a Sorcha Fall story and it's not true. Let me just I searched Italy, Bill Gates arrest, and that's on DuckDuckGo. You know, I've got several stories about Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, people calling for their arrest, but it's places like News Punch, which is not a reputable site. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. There's even a story about Bill Gates being a clone that popped up in here. Let's see. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Arrest Bill Gates, Americans calling for it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. All right. Thanks though, Dustin. Gaffer Anon says, enjoying my popcorn during the broadcast, also doing Zoom AA at the same time. Hashtag one day at a time. Hashtag in it together. Hashtag where we go one, we go all. So I'm in sobriety. And because of the pandemic, the club is closed, so we can't go for meetings. And that's something that I would, otherwise be doing at least once a week. But what we have done, I've got, brothers and people in the program. There is a Zoom meeting that's set up. I think a lot of people are doing this now, not only for work, but also support groups. So the people who would otherwise be meeting in person. So there's a weekly Zoom meeting, and I'm very grateful that it is in the beginning of the week, because if it was on the weekend, I wouldn't be able to attend. Let's see. Eddie Mitchell says, POTUS today holds a briefing for Space Force new flag. What a coincidence. I have the video pulled up. I wanted to show you guys. I haven't actually seen it yet, so this is going to be the first time. Let's see. Also, he says, also held a press briefing today on Operation Warp Speed. Watch California. This is actually on my backup channel. Methods and I were talking about the Operation Warp Speed on Quarantine today. And President Trump has said, multiple times that this is not going to be a mandatory poke, let's say. It's something that they've been producing because there will be people who want to use this as an option for medical care. Other people won't want to use it. But he said that they're going to have the military distribute it. All right. So in my mind, that sounds rational to me. But some people hear President Trump, poke, vax, and military, and that means that, they're going to be coming to your home and holding you down and forcibly, injecting you. But he clearly said in the press conference, that, you don't have to take it if you don't want to. If President Trump didn't, get right on top of trying to produce something of this nature as a medical option, then he would receive just, unending ridicule and scorn from the press. So I see this as, a tactical move as much as a medical move. What do you think about that? Do you think that Operation Warp Speed is do you think about it the same way that I do?
Yeah, for sure. There's just like the flu VACC. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a lot of people that don't get it. It's the same same mentality, But he also did talk about therapeutics, right?
Yep.
We've got our famous one that's not getting the press that it deserves.
HCQ.
Right.
Yep.
So we've got that dealio there, and so I'd be interested to watch it, but it's funny because I don't think the average, I wouldn't say the average American, because I'm an average American,
right?
But I don't think a lot of viewers, a lot of citizens, have been privy to Operation this, Operation that, right. Operation Hurricane, Crossfire Hurricane. It's like Operation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk in terms of operation in the living room with our family.
No.
You know. And so there's also some like interjection of this concept of operation, which I kind of liked. That'll make you more receptive to Operation Crossfire Hurricane after you hear about Operation Warp Speed.
Yes.
It's just in your mind.
I guess you're right. You know, I mean, you're drawing that conclusion. All right. Well, you know, plus I think the fact that we've got that, and then, you know, Operation Warp Speed, we've got Operation Warp Speed, and then also Space Force news on the same days. You know, I mean, you think warp speed, you think space. So, you know, I also think maybe the president's pointing at that as well. Let's go ahead and watch this quick video today, you guys. This is the unveiling of the Space Force DoD flag. Here it comes.
It's really an important occasion because we're unfurling the flag, and with us is Chief Master Sergeant Roger Toberman, and he is, I'd like you to say exactly, because his rank is a very special rank. Tell us about that rank.
Yes, sir. I'm the Senior Enlisted Advisor for the United States Space Force.
The highest sergeant by far, right?
Yes, sir. And at the moment, the only one. So I give counsel to the Secretary and to the Chief.
It's bare bones.
This rank is custom designed.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's it.
And he's the only airman that wears that rank, and will be the only airman that wears that rank. He's the Senior Enlisted
That's
Leader.
fantastic, and I heard tremendous things about you, Roger.
Thanks.
It's a very important position. Thank you. You're with all these generals, but you know what? He's an important guy, right? So why don't we go ahead and do it? Let's do it. Yes, please.
Thank you.
This is going to be beautiful, guys. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. That is beautiful. It's an incredible sight to see that our country is heading out into space. I wish that I was young enough to join the Space Force. That guy, well, I mean, you couldn't hear the video, but the man that was presenting it to President Trump, he's the highest enlisted man in the Space Force. And he was showing off his new insignia. And it's got like that Star Trek, you know, Space Force symbol in the center of it. I ordered a sticker, a vinyl sticker for my car that says Space Force, and it shows that on there. It's so cool, man. I'm so excited about this because, you know, you've got just untold vastness of space, and for us to be able to send people out there to explore it and talk about it openly, you know, because let's be honest. I mean, the technology that we have, that people, civilians know about is, you know, 30 years old at best. Okay. I mean, that's why I was thinking that maybe Operation Warp Speed ties into the Space Force, because it's very possible that we already have faster, or as, you know, maybe approaching light speed travel. It's just something that, you know, I think definitely exists. Do you remember when I did that story back when I first started about those patents that the Navy released for the gravity drive, the warp drive, basically for the ships? It detailed a patent that created a gravitational warp drive. It would envelop the ship in this like space-time sphere, and you could go from point A to point B, you know, essentially at will, and without any G-forces on you. It's pretty awesome when you look at the patent, and then you look at many videos that people put out, you know, saying, you know, I don't know what this is in the sky. It's unidentified, whatever it is. It really makes me think that much, if not all, of what we see is just secret black budget programs that we haven't released to the public yet. But Space Force is an opportunity to bring that stuff all out to the forefront. Like, let's just go to Mars, dude. Let's go for it.
Dude, I had been thinking, I never actually said, but I had been thinking since the beginning, once Trump first got elected, he would start talking about Space Force. And I was like, this dude is going to do his version of put the man on the moon. It's like an epic presidency.
Yep.
You know, and then not only are you taking the bag, the deep state bag, and just dumping it out on the counter, but you're also going to go ahead and try to put somebody on Mars now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Like, I kind of feeling, you know, I think we're going to see, I bet you, once he gets reelected, we're going to start seeing some more stuff go down. the Space Force, you know. But it does, like you were saying about the patents and stuff, it kind of makes you, man, see, I don't think about this a lot, you know, I truly don't. But like, it kind of makes you start thinking like we might be in some Stone Age type tech, even though we're so advanced, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's our mindset. We're so advanced, but like we're actually in the Stone Age.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Technologically, we are in the Stone Age, but everything that they have in their possession is just light years ahead of anything that we have. Somebody mentioned it in the chat, and I was thinking it, but I didn't say it. But that patent looked like the TR-3B, which is this fabled, aircraft that the Air Force is supposed to have, but it's triangular shaped. It has like 3 lights on the bottom of it. It can move anywhere. You know, I mean, this is a favorite subject of mine, and I've got plans in the future to do shows around this stuff. It's just I want to figure out the best way to present it. There's also something that I'm going to be doing a show with Aaron. He's one of the viewers on the program, but he's got his own show on YouTube, and we're going to be talking about teleportation. I actually found a patent that is for human teleportation. We're going to be going over that and like a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm really excited about that. You know, I love the idea of all this technology that's been suppressed and that we don't have as civilians, but I truly believe actually exists. It's pretty great. Let's see.
Yeah, for sure.
Gina or Dustin Byers. So no, I'm sorry. We got to jump back there. Dovey Skymore says states make their voting laws. It's not federal. I think that we could have a federal voter ID, though. I mean, couldn't we have that, which would require us to be presented at the time that we vote? Baby Yoda says, I'm up for a meetup in Colorado. I might have to self-inflict mullet first. All right. So yes, give yourself a mullet and then get a hold of Patricia. KC says Trump is trolling China. He said he would match whatever China pays. If they pay more, we might match it. So it's at most 40 million. I like the sound of that. Dustin Byers says it's in a court setting there in a Congress. It's in a court setting there in a Congress. I don't know which part of the show you were talking about there, Dustin, but thanks anyways. Gino says, what's up, guys? Can you please say happy birthday to my wife, Julie? Julie, Gino's wife, happy birthday. So glad that you and Gino are spending it here with us tonight watching Friday Night Livestream. Maybe you will think about calling in a few minutes when we open up the phones, and I will say happy birthday to you over the phone. I don't know how old you are, but I am hoping it's a good one. Gino seems like a really nice guy. He's been watching the channel for a while, and I love seeing him in the chat. He's always got good stuff to say. So something tells me that you are a very intelligent woman yourself, since you chose so wisely for your husband. But happy birthday, Julie. Happy birthday. You want to go for it?
Happy birthday to Julie. Happy birthday to you.
There you
Where we go when we go all.
I love it. Thanks, Gino. The Brooklyn Way says the Italy thing is a woman addressing the president, calling for his arrest, among other things. It's subtitled, the channel is Prisoners of Progress or something like that. Okay, all right. There's been some people saying stuff about the president through, YouTube videos, and I gotta say, I just don't believe them all. I feel like I can tell what's in President Trump's heart. I feel like President Trump is not only a patriot, but he is a good person. So I don't ever believe that he has been a part of that elite world. He has existed among them. He has never become them.
Yeah,
real red pill girlfriend just got here.
Muffin Gate Part 2.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Brooklyn Way. Candy De Leon says, YouTube turned off my notification bell for the channel a few days ago. I have to keep setting the bell for notifications and it doesn't stay. I'm not surprised. Unfortunately, that's a scary thing. But for anybody who doesn't know, I encourage you to go to my channel page at least once a week and make sure that you're still subscribed, make sure that the notifications are still on. I have a higher percentage of subscribers that turn on all notifications than a normal YouTube channel does. I would say about 10% normally. That's the normal number. But I have, last time I checked, it was about 25% for my channel. So if you guys would just be so kind, it's just a couple of clicks. It's real easy. I know that some people just don't want to do it, or maybe they don't know how, but all you got to do is go to my channel page. You see where it says that you're subscribed. There's a bell next to it. You click that bell, and up at the top, it says all notifications. You click that top bell. The middle bell is some notifications. The lower bell is no notifications. Please make sure you press all notifications. I know that I do things pretty timely on a regular schedule here. But that way you guys will be more likely to get my notifications. But thank you, Candy, for checking. Jammer Drops a Hammer says, disobedience is the roots of liberty. I absolutely agree. Cindy Castro says, can anyone buy real estate in space? I think I've heard previously about people buying real estate like on the moon and stuff like that. I would bet if they don't have the market set up right now, it will be set up in the very near future. Of course, they're definitely going to want to sell real estate out in space. Shane Preston says, my other car is a TR-3B. Man, I would give anything to fly a TR-3B. I would give anything just to join the Space Force, to be able to go out into space. Can you imagine waking up in the morning and looking out the window and seeing like the sun like cresting around the other side of the earth? Like, how amazing would that be? Just brilliant, magnificent. You look out at the stars, just goes on forever.
Yeah, and while you were saying that, I kind of went off in my mind. I was imagining what you were just saying. It was really nice imagery you were painting there, for sure, with a little emotional, delivery too. And it kind of really put me there. And I was imagining myself in the spaceship just now. I really was. And I was like, ah. And, it's funny. Of course, I'm a person of faith. And so I was thinking, while I'm up there, if I was up there, I would it would strengthen my faith.
Oh, absolutely.
Some people, the talking of space actually makes them feel like, it doesn't strengthen their faith. It makes them question. But in Genesis, it says that when God created the cosmos, God created the cosmos. Mm-hmm. So when I look up at the cosmos, I'm thinking, wow, God created the cosmos. This is magnificent. And then also in Genesis, it says that God hovered over the earth before things got to being made. And Jesus was a part of the, I got to get my little evangelista going out here. Jesus hovered over the earth too. And so while I'm sitting in the spaceship looking out, I'd be like, wow, Jesus, you were with God when this was all being created. Mm-hmm. This is amazing. Now I'm getting to experience the cosmos. This is great. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, the idea of the vastness of space and the way that the perfect nature that in which everything was created, I mean, that definitely strengthens my faith. I don't understand how it couldn't do that for people. And I mean, obviously, it's a personal thing. But to know that everything just happened to come together in the exact right way, for us to exist, for the ecosystem of the earth to exist, for our solar system, to everything to be spinning at the right point so that everything goes around each other, but it doesn't fly into each other, and everything flying through the universe too. I mean, to not smash into our earth like at this time, clearly there have been comets that hit us before, but it happened at just the right time so they could do a do-over, Yeah. So, it really does strengthen my faith, the idea of everything that's going on. Hey, Polar Bear Smacks in the audience. What's up, dude? Good to see you, buddy. So thank you, Shane. Kenneth Chamberlain says, you need Flat Earth 101, Knights Templar, Sleeper Cell. Okay, I will look into it, Knights Templar and the whole thing. Bert says, glad you're still monetized. I think you're the last. Plan for the future, want to see you last. I think you're right. I am one of the last. You guys know, as long-time viewers of the channel, I have always been very careful about the way that I say things. I think that it's important to maintain this platform so that I have the ability to reach people, because I know that the work that we're doing here is connecting with people. It's opening minds, but it's it's a gentle opening. It's a great awakening, which allows people to come in at their own pace. Whereas some people, it's like shoving a crowbar under the hood of your car instead of, popping the latch, So I try to be careful. I want to maintain this place, and I want to be able to reach people. I think that is the most important part. I don't need to be shocking. I don't need to, say things that are, going to ruffle too many feathers. I would like to come in under the radar and then be like, surprise, I got you. I'm here. Gino says, thanks so much for the B-Day wish to my wife. It made her night. Much love. Much love to you too, Gino. And Casey and on Jason, you and Marfugel should do a collab. Do you know Adam from Marfugel News?
No.
Oh, he's a great guy. I would love to hook you guys up. I mean, he is a really, really good person, like just a solid dude. So read the closest you and I will get to spaceflight is a game called Star Citizen. It's an alpha. I think I've heard of that Star Citizen before, and I've got a video games, obviously, you know, that have space games in them. I always love that stuff. So you know, that's about as close as I've ever gotten. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and open up the phone now, and you guys can give us a call. Let me just make sure that the number is correct. Because a couple weeks ago I put the wrong number on the screen. And I was wondering why nobody was calling in. It was only the people with the Zoom link. I'm going to also put it in the description of the video, guys, so that... Okay, so 84918. Yes, okay. It's correct. The meeting ID and the password are going into the description of the video, as well as the Zoom link. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop that Zoom link for you guys into the chat. So... if you've got something that's been going on, you got something on your mind, you want to give us a call, you want to ask Jason about his music, you want to see what's going on, ask us our opinion on something, then by all means, you guys, please do. So there's the Zoom link, and now I'm going to go ahead and drop the password. And oops, actually, let me put the Zoom link into the description of the video too. Okay, and then here's the meeting ID and the password. They are saved in the description, and there you go. Now in the chat box as well. All right, so you guys, I had one other I guess I have several other things that I wanted to show you, but I'm sure, do you know about Lori Clausudis? Lori Clausudis, she was the aide to Joe Scarborough, crazy psycho Joe Scarborough, when he was a congressman.
No.
Okay, well, she was his aide, and she died mysteriously in his office. So the story goes that she had... Hang on, let me pull it up so I can tell you exactly what it was. So the story is that she died accidentally. She had an undiagnosed cardiac arrhythmia, which caused her breathing to stop. So she stopped breathing while she was walking around Psycho Joe's office. And then she fell down, passed out, hit her head on the desk, and fatal cranial injury right there. So, fracturing her skull, she died. But some new audio has come out. Now, I should also note, right after this happened, Joe Scarborough left Congress, okay? Just took off. The thing is, he was having an affair with her. That has come out, I believe. But, her cause of death... a little sketchy. Now, the coroner who called the cause of death, he was actually just recently arrested and charged with illegally storing bodies or body parts. Like he had people's body parts in jars of formaldehyde or something, and maybe not even formaldehyde, just jars of pickle juice in his house. He also had a suspended license, and I think that he was driving around with some parts in his car. So definitely a little sketchy. Not the kind of guy you just be like, hey, come on over to dinner, bring your ears,
Yeah. Hey, can I see your ears, man? Yeah,
Show me that collection again. So this new audio has just surfaced, and it's audio of Psycho Joe on the Don Imus show. Don Imus is this guy that used to have a show on MSNBC, and he's joking around about the fact that he was having an affair and he had to delete her. So let's go ahead and listen to this audio, you guys, because it's pretty interesting. This is not the kind of thing that you would joke about.
You've got to, occasionally we're going to try to help you, and you've just, right, Charles, and you've got to listen. So.
Well, tell me what I need to do.
Well, no, you're doing great. I mean, don't be afraid to be funny.
Okay.
Because you are funny. That was I asked you why you weren't in Congress. You said you'd had sex with the intern, and then you had to kill her.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty risky to say.
What are you going to do?
So it could be, you can be very good. I mean,
All right. So, I mean, that's it right there. Don Imus says, I asked you why you're not in Congress. You said because you had sex with an intern and then you had to get rid of her. And he's like, what are you going to do? You know, I don't care what the circumstances surrounding that is. But, I mean, I just can't imagine being in the frame of mind to joke about something like that and be so flippant and offhand about it. You know, I mean, that's like it's a real sociopathic kind of thing to do and say.
Yeah, which is also, you know, a lack of regard for humanity,
right?
And the humanity aspect. Like, if you know, so funny, not funny at all, actually. But I was at a Bible study where an older woman, like in her mid 70s, she tripped over a footstool, fell forward, and bonked her head on a coffee table, like full weight. So when you were saying that, I was like, oh snap, I've actually witnessed something like this. And it like altered her life for about 2 years.
But she survived.
She didn't go up. Yeah.
Okay.
I walked her. I was walking with her on the stretcher to the ambulance, you know, but it's like, I have a regard for her humanity.
Right.
You know, and if someone that, you know, let's say he was having an affair with her.
Yeah.
And then he's laughing about a disregard for the human life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's definitely some sociopathic behavior.
Now, the other thing that I didn't mention is that she was a marathon runner. She had just run an 8K marathon. I believe it was an 8K. But in the week prior to her passing away, this was in 2001, she was 28 years old. Okay? I think that for a 28-year-old woman who's of sound health like that, for her to fall, you know, just fall and fracture her skull on a desk, I just find that incredibly unlikely. Now, somebody in the chat said that people that lived in the area never bought the story. I'd really like to hear from somebody from that area. I believe it was down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And please, you guys, I might be completely wrong, but I seem to remember that it was in Florida. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, and she did run an 8K race. Now, the medical examiner who worked on his case lost his license in 2 states, Missouri and Florida. He lied about autopsy work. He was arrested in 2012 for storing human body parts in a commercial storage unit. That's what it was. Now, President Trump also tweeted about this here on the 4th, and he spelled something wrong. He said Concast. I don't know if that's supposed to be Comcast, but Concast, as far as I know, isn't a word. And he says it in... Or maybe, no, Psycho Joe's show is the Concast. I get it, because he's a con. Okay, so Concast should open up a long overdue Florida cold case against Psycho Joe Scarborough. Now, I guess I still don't get the reference. Concast, maybe that's some law enforcement agency down in Florida. I know him and Crazy Mika well. Used them beautifully in the last election, dumped them nicely, and will state on the record that he is nuts, besides bad ratings. Hashtag Open Joe Cold Case. Now, this is not the first time recently that he's... Oh, hi, honey. He said it multiple times recently, calling him Psycho Joe, suggesting that they should open up a cold case on him. I really do believe that President Trump is shining the laser pointer, okay? Like we got in the posts recently. They're shining the laser pointer. I think there's going to be an investigation into Psycho Joe Scarborough. So give us a call if you lived in Florida and you have any knowledge of the case. We're going to go to our first caller on the line, and it's Nellie Bailey. Nellie Bailey, and I please everybody who is on the line, make sure that you mute your stream in the background. Make sure you mute your stream so that we don't get the feedback coming through. Somebody said that he calls Comcast Concast. I totally buy that. Yeah, but I mean, again, because it's a misspelling of a common word, maybe there's something to do right there. All right, Nellie, are you there? Or is it Neil? I'm sorry, Neil.
Oh, I've forgotten to change my name. So it's Neil. It's Bales here. How you doing?
Hey, Bales. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
He's going all right. Hello, Jason.
Bales, you're the man.
I am.
I'm so happy that you called in.
Yeah, mate. No, thank you for all the Bible study. We're getting through a few together, so it's fantastic. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I'm so excited. In case anybody doesn't know, I'm just going to throw it out there. You know, Bales dedicated his life to the Lord through through the ministry of my channel, which is pretty cool. But that's all God's work. But thank you so much for acknowledging that, Bales. That's awesome. What's up?
Not a great deal, mate. I just thought I'd call up, say good day because you're on there, and just say thanks very much for everything that we've done. This is what this movement has done for a lot of people. It's opened our eyes up to at what is really happening, in the world, and look how far we've come, with red pill and methods, and the whole lot is it's just an awesome time to be alive. It's terrible what's going on, but it's an awesome time to be alive, to see what's going on. The change that's going on is absolutely awesome.
Have you been seeing maybe some friends in Australia that are that are getting red pilled too, or
Oh, absolutely. Especially people at my work, they're ringing up now and saying, hey, wow, you were right about this all along. They thought I was mad 3-4 years ago when I started following President Trump, but now they've jumped on the wagon and they're looking at things, and I'm showing them things and pointing them to different channels. It's absolutely fantastic.
That's so awesome.
That's
so awesome.
It's been quite the experience. Watching people all across the globe wake up in a good way. Prior to this whole awakening, I witnessed many people realizing what the world was really like, and it was a psychologically damaging event. Now because of what we have, this community that we've created, people wake up and they realize that they're not alone, and that despite the fact that we've been lied to, there's something we can do about it, and we can organize together. And coming together on my show, coming together in person, reaching out to people and letting them know that they're not alone. It's been quite the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I won't hold up anyone else that needs to get on here. So thanks very much, Red Pill. You've come so far in these last few years, and just growing stronger and stronger. You've got the best mods in the business. G'day, mods. Fantastic. So thanks very much, boys. Take care. Bless you both.
Bless you as well, Bales. Thanks for the call, buddy. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see you.
See you, Bales.
Good stuff.
Bye, mate.
There we go. All right. Good stuff. Let's see. Casey Anon. Oh, thank you again, Casey Anon. Barbara Anderson says, thanks for your show. Nice people. Where we go one, we go all. You're very welcome, Barbara. Thanks for being here with us. Patty MC sends a super sticker. Thank you for that, Patty. And Free says, JWAG, my fave. Missed the start. Love you. God bless both of you. Stick around till the end. I think we're going to listen to the song one more time. I saw a lot of people asking for me to play it again. We'll close out the broadcast with it, but you can always go back and watch later. Don't worry about that. All right, let's go ahead and see who else is on the phone. Man, we got 7 people waiting, you guys. Thanks for calling in. Oh, we're gonna talk to Dana next. Dana Finkler, good friend of the program. Todd Rubel says Joe Scarborough is corn pop. Joe is corn. Oh, look at look at Dana's avatar.
I brought it back, baby.
Oh man, I love it, Dana. I love it. Good to see you, buddy. What's going on?
Dude, just really happy with life, man. Made some peace with some things and got a lot of traction on some stuff that we talked about.
Good.
I'm shooting you an email.
Okay.
I need John Barber's email address.
Oh yeah. Hang on. I will send. Hang on. Did you just send it?
No, I was gonna send it to you right after this.
Send it right now, dude, and I'll send you. I gave it to him before, but I'll copy you guys on an email, and I'll say, hey, this is Dana that we talked about.
Oh, just gonna check out some JFK stuff while I'm down there.
Dude,
hey
yeah.
man, Jason, you and Severe, you guys working on that Thick Ankle Dog Face song yet, or what's going on with
that? I don't know what the Thick Ankle Dog Face song is, but we have a song that's in the pipeline. So it seems to be that maybe, I don't know if this is answering your question or not, but Severe and I have a process where it's like, there's a song in the pipeline, we finish it, we move on to the next. So we have one that is a real hot fire banger, that we're waiting to get finished up before we move on to the next one.
Jason, what's up with that song that we were going to work on?
It's in the pipeline. I have a celebrity that's going to be doing the second verse on it.
Oh man, I don't know about that. But you guys, somebody in the chat said you need to do a song about corn pop. I think that would be hilarious. Did you? Okay, so I shared this on Twitter the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but there's this guy. Man, I wish I could. I wanted to give him a shout out. It's Joe something or other. Dang it, Joe! If you're here, buddy, say something in the chat, man, because I wanted to give you a shout out really bad. But he did like an Old Town Road. But it's about Joe Biden. It's Old Biden Joe. But
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's a really good one. Man, I gotta find it. All right, Dana, what else is going on, buddy? Are you still there? All right, I guess Dana popped off. All right, buddy. Well, it was good to talk to you. Thanks for calling in. All right, sweet. Hang on just a sec. Let me say. Yeah, Todd, thank you for that. Joe Scarborough's corn pop. Oh, okay. We got Sweeta Umat coming up right now. Welcome back to the show, Sweeta. Make sure you got the stream muted in the background. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that song, Old Biden Joe. I'm not going to be able to play it because it's going to pop off the... dang it. Honey, I know you're listening. What is the name of the guy who did the song about Mike Obama and then the one about Old Biden Joe? And then send it to me. I need to give this guy a shout out on the air because it was hilarious. Sweeta, are you there?
Yeah, hi, Red Pill.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I have a question for Jason.
Go ahead.
Now, I would imagine that someone who writes songs probably writes the lyrics first and then comes up with a background score with the instruments. Now, would a person need to have a background in, say, minimum piano and guitar to come up with a background score? Can a person without knowledge of playing instruments, come up with their songs and create a background score for it?
Yeah, I guess I can just tell you what my process is, and you can kind of just draw from that. And so generally what I do is I have the score first, and I find that the coming up with the score for me anyway, is the most time consuming aspect of it, the producing of the instrumental. And so what I like to do to speed up the process is to lease beats, lease instrumentals. So if you just, go onto YouTube and find something that really moves you, you can lease that. And then a lot of times they'll let you use it for free as long as it's not commercially and it's not monetized, so that can get the creative for me anyway, that jump starts the creative process. And because I feel that I excel in the writing the melody, the vocal melody, and I don't actually write the lyrics down on paper. I just find an instrumental that really moves me. I get it, whether I have to lease it or however I get it. And then I import it into my recording software. And then I just let that thing move me. And then I try to talk about what is important to me and try not to project some version of myself that I want to be. Does that answer any question or?
Yeah, sure. And so do you play instruments, or do you have software that can create a background score?
I play guitar, but I find that my level of my proficiency with the guitar is not like studio quality. That's my thing. And so I dabble with piano too. But I've been like, when I produce the score, I use a lot of loops.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That answers my question. Now I have a question for Red Pill as well.
Go for it.
Actually, not a question. It's just something these Indian men, some of these idiotic Indian men, they're extremely judgmental. Now, if I speculate, if I as much as speculate about, presence of microwave weapons, they start implying that, I am only doubting about spy camera operation that's happening around me. There are people on the internet who speculate about adrenochrome, even though they don't have actual physical proof about it, or people who, speculate about aliens. either for fun, for entertainment, or because they have been doing certain research and they have certain sources in CIA, even though they don't really have proof about it.
Sure.
To keep implying just because a person doesn't have proof about something, that the person is just doubting and doesn't know about the reality that's happening around them. I think people, one thing I would say is not to listen to, parameters set by idiotic Indian men, number one, because they can be extremely judgmental.
Right.
And use lame excuses to say that person is not, in touch with reality and a person is just doubting. That's one thing I would like to say.
Yeah, I just in response to that, I would say, I don't think it's exclusive to any one country. I think that anytime people enter into thought exercises of those types, if you're going to be doing it in a public forum, like let's say you put it on Facebook or you put it on Twitter or some other social media platform, we should all be just, very aware and ready for the fact that people are going to come out and attack you. And whether or not it's people that you actually know or it's people who are acting with an agenda, their only job is to go online and to try to, beat you down and stop you from talking about these things. You put that stuff out there, just know that it's going to happen, but, preface it, say, this is a thought exercise, or this is something that I'm interested in, and I'd like to be able to talk about it. And if people want to attack you for that, then in my mind, that just tells you who to go ahead and stop paying attention to.
Sweeta, I wrote a song that basically addressed my feelings about exactly what you're talking about. It's just not Indian men that made me feel that way. It's whoever else. It's called Whistle in Your Heart. And so there's a song I recorded on my YouTube channel. It's called Whistle in Your Heart. You should check it out. I'd like, if you're up for it, Sweeta, come over to my channel and interact with some. I have a small channel, but a very tight knit group of people that comment on like every video. I'd love it if you'd come over and interact with us and check out that Whistle in Your Heart, because I think it's got some answers to the question that you're asking.
Yeah, Sweeta, you can get to his.
I would like to definitely check it out.
You can get right to his channel. I put the link to that video in the description of the video, so you can click that and go straight to him, and definitely give him a subscription.
Yeah,
I love your passion.
Like to listen to and check out one of his music.
Right on. All right.
Another thing, Redpill, I've sent you an email again today.
Okay.
Please do consider interviewing Eric Karlstrom. Barry Trower. Now, Barry Trower is ex-British intelligence, who is a microwave weapons expert.
Okay.
And he has mentioned in one of his videos, which I've also posted on Twitter, called CELDA, and that there's technology already in place from LED street lights, which can monitor a people's movement and can even beam microwaves into them, based on probably someone's back-end switch.
For sure.
And the third person is Brian Coffrin. He's a whistleblower who used to work for security industry specialist Seattle.
Okay.
And he supposedly he was mentioning about a black project in association with Amazon, which is about the secret surveillance state and developing software and the psychological warfare and hive mind and whatnot.
Okay.
So do check out my playlist, which I've created, so that you have a background of, so that you can better, you'll know what kind of questions to ask. You can come up with other questions and things like that. So do check out my playlist when you have the time on those three people. Eric Karlstrom, Barry Trower, and Brian Coffrin. I've sent the link in my email.
Okay, excellent. I'll check it out. I started to a while ago. I just so everybody knows, because I've recently asked a whole bunch of people to send me suggestions. I am working right now on getting people scheduled for the rest of the month that I've been trying to schedule for like the last 3 or 4 months. So what I tend to do is plan my shows quite far in advance so that there's no surprises and I don't have to worry about somebody dropping out. So, but yes, I'm definitely going to check it out, and everything that you've said sounds very interesting to me. I think it's going to be good. All right. Well, Sweeta, thanks for your call. I appreciate you calling in. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Yep, it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, White Hat Granny said son-in-law's from Pensacola, Florida, and has bragged about Crazy Joe Scarborough being from there. In-law is very liberal and poo-poos any discussion about real facts about Joe. Not surprised, unfortunately. Freight Awakening says, retweeted your post and added that Corn Pop revelation RP. Heads will spin, Jason. I mean, I play a mean kazoo. Let's collaborate. I can do the triangle, too.
Yeah, I love the kazoo.
All right, you guys, I found my buddy's channel, Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob. He's a great musician, does some incredible parody work. Definitely, I would go follow Sideshow Bob and listen to his music. Give him a follow on YouTube too. He's a great guy. He's a lot of fun. All right, let's see here. What do we got next? We've got Carl. We were just emailing before the program. Carl is going to be joining us, and I don't know if you've seen when Carl called into the show, but he's got like 8 Doberman. 8 Doberman. Hey, there he is.
Hey, Red Pill. Hey, Jason.
What's up, Carl?
Hey,
how
how's
you
it
doing,
going?
buddy?
Oh, doing great. Glad to see you guys. Let me zoom this up so I get a better look at you beautiful men.
There we go.
All righty. So, Jason, since we're on the topic tonight, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. I was thinking, we love Space Force. We really do. And there would be nothing better than you combining us revolting against our government and taking off into space, rising out to space, with Space Force.
So a reverse secret space program, maybe?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you saw the video of in New York, when the camera guy, their local news guy was filming the protest, and they all just turned on him beautifully. I mean, it was so beautiful. Actually, I had a tear in my eye watching it. And I was just thinking of that imagery and then them releasing the Space Force flag. I was like, man, if you combine those two, what an amazing song would that be?
Yeah, for sure.
I would listen to it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
I like it.
You like it? Okay, great.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like working in things like this. It's totally awesome.
Yeah, the best songs in the world are patriotic songs. So, and the work that you and
some of these other guys, it's growing. I know.
Severe just followed me today. I'm all excited.
Oh, dude, that's a great feeling. I know what it is. Good stuff. So, how many of those Dobermans you got left, Carl?
I still COVID shut my advertising down, so I still have them all.
Okay.
Still have them all, and they get rambunctious. You see his little bite marks.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
they're
happen.
Such big players, and really, I love your music. That idea I think would be great, and Red Pill, how are you gonna hug your girlfriend 6 feet apart, man?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be poo-pooing that rule right there.
You're not gonna put on the whole outfits they're trying to sell, and that way you can like.
I've got one. A couple of months ago, I had a sponsor that was like a full chem hazmat suit.
Right.
But no, dude, it's like 72 degrees in here. I'm not worried about wearing a hazmat suit tonight.
Yeah, but can you believe these guys are 10 months old? Sorry, go ahead.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. What's up, Jay?
I'm just gonna say, what you just kind of got going in my head. Years ago, I recorded some songs that were kind of really gnarly, and it was like music that was specially designed to play while you're in a spaceship.
Oh, wicked!
I love it.
I haven't released them or anything, but maybe I'll circle back on that. This is music that's not to be played on Earth.
Space Force Playlist Volume 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watch
totally.
it.
It's cool.
Do you know the video I was talking about with the protesters filming it? Have you seen that yet?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you guys got to watch it. I mean, it's just inspiring to watch real Americans wake up and, they were patriots, just hounding this guy, this news reporter that's been blasting fake news. And they're like, dude, you're fake news. What happened to you? You used to be a good person. Now look at you. And it's just, and these two ladies follow him around, and I mean, he just goes and films everything, and it's really patriotic, emotional. I'm like,
what the sad thing is, Carl, is that all of those people, They were never good people. They were always broadcasting fake news, and it's just that everybody's awake now, you know? I mean, like, that's the thing, you know? And when people can get to that realization and, you know, and figure out, like, it didn't just change with President Trump. It just got more overt. Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Baby Yoda said that he might be coming to get a pup from you.
He said it. Last I heard, he was going camping next week.
Oh yeah, well, it happens. And man, I can't wait to go camping. Yeah, that's like the first thing on my list. As soon as I'm able, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I was just saying, if they try to extend this any longer, then I might just go ahead and do it anyways.
Dude, I binge watch bushcrafting videos on YouTube.
What is bushcrafting?
Have you ever watched these things?
Yeah, you're talking about like when they like make a shelter real quick?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I've seen, there's a couple of channels that I'm subscribed to. It's like an 8-hour like time lapse of like somebody making an entire home from just like whatever they find, or like
absolutely.
The people like in I don't know, Vietnam or something like that, like making the house in the ground, like chopping it out by, you know, they're just using like a stick, you know, that's like the size of your hand, and they completely dig down like 10 or 12 feet, and then they put a pool in there and stuff. Like, how cool would that be?
Totally.
I would love it. All right. Well, Carl, thanks for your call, buddy. I appreciate you. Good to see you.
Thanks, guys. God bless you. Love you guys.
God bless.
Nice
we'll talk to
talking
you soon.
Carl.
Thank you, Jason.
Carl's such a good guy. Okay.
Nice guy. Good
he
vibe.
is, man. Yeah, and those dogs are great, you know. When he first started calling in on video, they were much smaller. So they would be just squirming like all around him, like while he's sitting on the couch, and now he can only have room for one of them. Freight Awakening says retweeted. Oh, that's right. You already showed me that. This is something that you know. This is on the subject of what I was talking about earlier, and my mom had told me about this story. But in Michigan, there is a barbershop owner. He's a 77-year-old barbershop owner, and he opened his barbershop to start doing haircuts. And, you know, obviously he's defying this stay-at-home order, and they are coming after him. They put a shutdown order on his barbershop, and look at this. The AG of Michigan referred to him as not a hero and not a patriot. I guess this is in Owasso, Michigan. Yeah, so he opened it up. They shut him down, and I think they're taking his license away altogether. How horrible is that? You know, I mean, this is the time when I think that people in this city would need to come together and, you know, all just make that decision to go ahead and open up. You know, I mean, this is the time for civil disobedience when you see something like that.
Yeah, and also these people are almost like archetypal characters. You know, you've got your Texas salon owner, you got your Michigan salon owner. Both are on other different sides of the coin. And it just goes to show you the value of like that archetype character, meaning that person that they make an example out of. So they make an example out of the 77-year-old barber. Mm-hmm. Now all the other barbers are afraid, so they don't even have to mess with those guys.
Exactly.
They just mess with this one guy. You know what I mean? I
mean, 77 years old too. You know, I mean, this guy's probably been cutting hair for the better part of 5 decades. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I hope that somebody would start a GoFundMe for this guy too, because I mean, if he's still cutting hair at 77, you know, we should help him retire as far as I'm concerned. If they're going to take his shop away from him, what's he going to do? You know, what are they going to do? You know, so I'm hoping that people, some of the people who are calling in, have some good stories like, oh, hey, look who it is. It is my co-host and research partner, Methods. Methods, welcome to the program. Thanks for calling in, buddy. He's still connecting to audio. But yeah, Methods is here. Methods, are you there, buddy? You got to mute that stream.
Man, I was getting there, man. I was getting there. What's up, Red Pill?
What's up, Holmes? Good to hear from you.
Man, I'm doing good. Jason, what's
Methods,
up, buddy?
What it do?
Man, I'm doing good. I've been enjoying the stream when I can catch it, but in and out working on other stuff. But yeah, having a great time. I'm glad, Jason, you're back on the show. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been pumped. excited to be back. I was like, yeah, it's like Christmas. It's fun to do these shows.
Right. Yeah. That's the only like bad side of doing these shows is that we have to wait for a while to bring certain people back that we enjoy having on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But with that said, there's been news breaking tonight. Like I said, I've been in and out of the show.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys covered it. Did you hear anything about the State Department IG?
No, I didn't. I didn't even get to that. We've just been having such a good conversation. I plan to go over the posts too, and we haven't even done that. But what happened?
Right. Yeah. So this broke tonight. So let me teach you something. The State Department IG was just fired by Trump.
Oh, wicked! That is a good thing.
I'm going to drop this in your Discord DM so you have it. But yeah, Trump was just like, yeah, I mean, I need to trust him, and I don't trust him. So he's out, and he has 30 days to pack up his his desk and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it happened tonight.
It's not only that he didn't trust him, he is being investigated for mishandling sensitive information.
Right.
That's a big deal.
So yeah, man, got to clean it up, drain that swamp. But yeah, I just figured I'd go ahead and drop that in here because I figured you guys didn't cover it. It dropped while you guys were live. But Jason, what are you working on, man? What's been going on with you?
Well, I've been working on some 70s rock.
Oh yeah,
and some pop country lately. The last couple days.
All right.
So I figured I recorded a love song for the first time in a long time for my wife, which is I'll throw it up on my YouTube, and throw it out there. But yeah, man, and then also just chilling. Like we're talking earlier, I'm on the tail end of quarantine here in Arizona, and so like I feel like I'm Neo, like I'm officially out of the Matrix. And then I talk to other people who are still in quarantine. I'm like, you guys, I know what life can be like on the other side.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, man. I'm excited for you. I know a lot of people are going crazy in different states, just being stuck. But I mean, people like Red Pill and I really enjoy our privacy at home. So this kind of like quarantine stuff's been comfortable. But yeah, man, I'm excited you're here. Anybody in this that's listening right now who doesn't know who Jason is, he's OG. He's been around for a while in this movement. We love him. His music's great. Voice is awesome, and definitely, follow all his work. But yeah, Red Pill, I'll let you get to what you're doing. I just want to drop that knowledge on you real quick.
Brother, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, and I hope you and the missus have a great night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you and Red Pill girlfriend too, man.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing her. All right, we'll
check
see
you guys later.
Peace.
Peace, brother.
All right, good stuff. What a nice surprise. Good to hear from Methods. So this guy, Linnick, his name is, looks like he was the one who put together that briefing for lawmakers, which included all of the evidence that Rudy Giuliani presented about Ukraine. Now, it doesn't say what the information was that he mishandled, but it says that he was criticized by Republican senators for failing to interview several participants in the meeting to find out why they met with Steele, who worked on behalf of the Clintons and the DNC. He investigated a meeting that State Department officials held in October 2016 with Steele. So it could be that he just didn't take action on things that he should have in the past, and maybe he was attempting to with the work that Rudy Giuliani was doing. But if President Trump wants him out, then I got to say, man, like I said, I trust his instincts. I trust that he is going to be putting the right person in there. Caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name?
Hi, my name is Christine, and I'm also known as Free, and I'm J-Wag's biggest fan.
Oh, good stuff.
What's up, Free?
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing so awesome. So this is what your voice sounds like.
Yes. I'm so glad to see you. Red Pill, I love you too, but I'm a big fan of Jason.
I'll accept it. Jason's a great guy, and he deserves to have fans. So
yes.
I just need to say I put the link for the firing of the IG into the chat there, you guys, so you can see the sauce. This is from the Daily Caller, a news organization that I greatly respect and trust. So, but yeah, so you're a big fan of Jason. I'm glad that you happen to be listening tonight. Do you normally listen to my show, or did you just come over because you knew Jason was going to be on?
Well, that's how I met Jason, from your channel.
Oh, great. Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, but your channel is kind of heavy, and a lot. I don't like the term conspiracy theory because I believe a lot of it.
I'm with you.
and I get a lot of anxiety from it, so I try to just keep myself more Christ-centered.
Sure.
And but I did buy the My Patriot tried food and stuff. I watched some of your sponsors were good, and I was just wondering. Yep, no worries. I was just wondering, like Jason's got a small channel, and I was wondering how we could build it up. Maybe get him some sponsors. Maybe get him some people have members, that they do monthly things.
That's right. Yeah. Well, as far as the memberships and the monetization, that's all based on a certain number of subscribers, and then you have to have a certain number of watch hours. And then the memberships, that's something that YouTube turns on their own. For somebody like Jason, I would suggest getting yourself set up with a Patreon and a Subscribe Star. And then that can be an option for people to support you on a monthly basis, as I'm sure people would love to. And I also think the getting sponsors, that's also going to be dependent on how many views you can get per video, which they're, take a look at the number of subscribers. So the best way we can help is for everybody.
And also getting exposure on your show.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. The best way we can help is if you are not yet a subscriber of Jason Was a Gentile, click that link in the description below, go and subscribe to him, show him some love, because he does do quality content.
He's got great music. And the other thing that he has a gift for, Jason, if you're listening, you have a gift. You really do. And I know that you like to say more in the Word, but, the people like to hear the content that Red Pill puts out as well. And your music, people love that. Mm-hmm. So you can find a balance, I think, right?
Yeah, totally. And I love to hear your opinion on things, since, I see you all the time in the comments on the videos, and you're one of the key characters over at my channel. But like you were saying, it's all about, I think when people get to my channel, the music kind of lures them in, but my channel is mostly about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Yes, and it's not very popular. People don't like that. I understand, but that's something you're going to have to overcome, because you have a gift.
Also the message of Jesus Christ is not popular.
Exactly.
I was talking to my mom about that. So that's okay. There were a lot of people when Jesus was sharing his message that just walked away. And because the idea of sin and the idea that we are sinners is repugnant to people, and the fact that you might need a savior. So if you have lied, that makes you a liar. Mm-hmm. If you have stolen, that makes you a thief. Jesus says, when you look upon a woman or man with lust in your heart, you committed adultery in your heart. That makes you an adulterer. So when you come to grips with your own sin, you at some point in time, by your own admission, you say, I'm a lying, thieving adulterer at heart. What do I do about this? So just holding the 10 Commandments up to someone can make them it's not popular to do that, to hold that up there. So I figure, as far as my channel goes, and this free, I teeter-totter. Sometimes I'm trying to monetize the channel. Sometimes I'm okay, no monetization. We're just a ministry. We're always
you're never about the money. I know.
Yeah, because so but it's really great to hear you, and you do strengthen my faith as well, and it's so great to hear your voice. And of course, we're just going to keep on rocking out the armor of God and just diving into the Bible.
That's awesome. That I was listening to True Reporting as well. So I got True Reporting, I got Red Pill, and you. And when I called in on True Reporting twice, and I'm very passionate, as you could tell. And I got I guess I felt kind of bad afterwards, because I got on top of Roseanne, because Red Pill, I know you have to have guests to get people to watch, and it's a draw, and it's also good information. But then when I see her drag, luring, or getting subscribers, and then going off into Kabbalah and other topics that are mysticism and stuff, I get hey, what is she doing?
Oh, I understand.
I want to apologize.
I
want to apologize about that, because I kind of got upset, but it's not usually not my character.
Well,
not a character.
And that's why I have the notification at the beginning of the video. Just because I have someone on the show doesn't mean that my views align with them, and I can't control what someone is going to say, especially in a live setting. Obviously I can edit something out if we're recording, but You know, I mean, by virtue of the fact that I host a show where I'm interviewing people, it's inevitable. There are going to be people, you know, who come on the show and, you know, maybe they say one thing prior to the show. Maybe they say another thing on the show. Maybe they say another thing after the show. But, you know, when it comes down to it, this is America, and we all have, you know, our right to choose whatever it is.
I didn't stay in my lane. I should
Right.
have stayed in my lane.
There you
That
go.
was something that I just learned.
I'm familiar
And
with that
also-
phrase, yeah.
Yeah, and we're all growing and learning in our walk with the Lord, you know, so we're not perfect. But anyway, Jason, I love you. I don't want to take any more time. I look forward to our next, whatever you do on your channel. I'm watching.
I appreciate you calling in, and thank you so much for interacting and commenting.
Thanks, Free.
Thank you guys. God bless you both. Thank
bless
you,
you.
everybody watching.
Have a great night.
You too.
All right, we've only got 2 more people left on the line, so we're just going to get to these last 2 people, and then we're going to hear Jason's song again. Abra is coming up next. We've done pretty good without having anybody have the stream go into the background, except for Methods. How ironic is that? Before Abra gets her microphone on, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here tonight. Thank you, Jason, for coming on the show. Thank you to everybody for the super chats and for supporting the channel. Again, if you want to support me outside of YouTube, you check those links in the description below, and I always have Methods PayPal included there as well, because it's you know, he's a big help on this channel, and anything we can do to support him as well, I suggest people do. But remember, the most important thing is that you're here, that you're watching, that you like and you share the videos, because that is probably the strongest source of support that you can give, because it lets people know that this is content worth watching. Abra, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Excellent, excellent.
Love your show.
What's your question or comment?
Okay, so I have a couple of brief comments to make. One is Roseanne Barr would probably be able to help you to get connected to some of those people you want to connect to.
Which ones? Which ones are you talking about?
Like Roseanne, earlier in the show, someone was like, "You should get so and so on the show." And I don't remember who you said. You go, "Yeah, I don't know how to get a hold of him." Yeah, Roseanne could probably help you with that.
You know, earlier today, somebody suggested that I have Dennis Quaid on, and I was wondering, did they mean Randy Quaid? But then somebody who actually has a connection to Dennis Quaid sent me some connection information. So I'll see if I can get Dennis and Randy on the show. That would be fun.
Nice. Okay, so a couple other brief things. Something that I found very interesting was that iPot has done 2 shows called The Bite 1 and 2, and you can buy adrenochrome on Alibaba.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, different grades.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
So another thing too. So I was on the Nasara show, and I was kicking myself because I forgot to tell everybody. For the people that are interested in Nasara, check out Santa Surfing Beach Broadcast. She does an excellent show following all the signs based on what the Trump administration is doing of not just Nasara, but Jasara around the world. I love her show.
I've seen several of her shows since we did that. I would definitely defer anybody who wants information to get it from her for sure.
Again, the last thing is, oh my God, this really twisted my noodle. I am way down the rabbit hole. I know a lot of stuff that's been going on, and this really twisted my noodle. So the CARES Act was introduced January 24th, 2019, and it became a law on 3/27/2020. So they knew about it before it even happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have been planning it even before it was introduced, because they had to write the thing too.
Right.
So I was curious what you had to say about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been pretty open about the thought that I think there is quite a lot of pre-planning that went into this whole situation. And I think it's obvious when you look at the dates on that bill, they must have had something in mind or have had some level of pre-planning in this. And who knows how long that was. I would think that this was probably their last ditch effort.
I hope so.
Yeah, I
keep hearing that.
Maybe a football nuke or something like that. But God forbid something like that happens. But I think my computer just restarted. You guys, I just lost all my pages. All right. Well, yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's an excellent point. Good thing to bring up. Well, listen, Abra, I appreciate you, but we got to get this last caller in before we sign off for the night.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll talk to you soon. Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you for calling, Abra. We've got one caller left. Russ. Russ, you're joining us on the air. Let me get the chat pulled back up so we can go ahead and see that here at the end. Let's see. Looks like maybe Russ is it's not working. Here he comes. Here comes Russ. All right, and then I need to say thank you to Patty for joining as a member. Son of a green card, good friend of the show, says, hi, guys, been listening while working on a project. Love you all. And, of course, he doesn't mean it in that way. Casey Anon says, it's all in God's hands. Remember where we are his hands. Jason, your insight of current events through the lens of the Bible is powerful. Use your gift. Yeah, Jason, I think you have a real opportunity, to minister in some very unique ways. So I would, I'd love to continue to support you in that mission. Russ, are you there? Judy, are you there? Judy, I'm going to unmute you. Let's see if that works. I can't unmute you, Judy, but let's see. We're just waiting for...
I unmute my...
There you go.
Is that okay?
I hear you, Judy. Yes. Welcome to the show. Glad to know. Yeah, what's going on? What's your question or comment? You're the last caller.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so excited. My heart is pounding. I had you on the phone too because my husband's phone number ends in 6969. He said if I called in, you would answer it. Well, I couldn't read the number on the screen. It took me forever. Here I am now. I have lots of stuff. I'm so glad you talked about the things that you talked about earlier having to do with space. Because I worked at Harvard University at the Center for Astrophysics for 15 years.
Very cool.
With a bunch of, it was super cool. I got to wear jeans every day too. But I worked with famous world-class scientists from all over the globe. It was totally cool. And I worked in the radio and geoastronomy division. So we worked with a whole lot of radio scientists. I worked in the Hydrogen Maser Clock Laboratory. I don't know how much you know about that.
Not much at all, but it sounds
cool
awesome.
Okay. But I did want to break a rumor with you.
Go ahead.
My internet connection is unstable.
Yeah,
My internet connection's unstable.
Yeah, you're breaking up just a little bit. You want to go ahead and just give us whatever it is, and then we'll answer it off the air?
Sure, I can do it. I wanted to tell you my Bill Gates story at Harvard.
Oh, please, go ahead. I'm all ears.
All right. Like I said, I'm going to use some lefty tactics here and not use real names in order to protect the innocent. But about 20 years ago, we were going to host an international symposium, and we were looking for a venue. And we went to the Science Center at Harvard University to check out the meeting space. And at the time, it was a brand new building. And it was built by Bill Gates. And it's called the Maxwell Dworkin Building. So we were taking a tour, and there was a grad student working in one of the labs. And he told us the story about the Maxwell Dworkin Building. Well, Bill Gates was a student at Harvard. He never graduated. Mm-hmm. Bunch of upperclassmen gave him a swirly in the old Science Center. He actually had the building torn down and rebuilt. And the Maxwell Dworkin names are his mother's maiden name and his, I don't know, I wanted to look up the business partner's name before I called you, but I was too nervous about losing you.
That's hilarious. So the reason the building was built is because Bill Gates received a swirly while at Harvard and harbored that anger enough to have the building torn down and rebuilt.
Yeah, well, that's right. And just recently I started thinking, well, that building must have had some historical significance. What the heck did he have to go through in order to tear down an historical building?
Right.
Just asking.
That's crazy.
Anyway, I thought you might like that.
I did like it very much so. Well, Judy, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you, Jason. I love you. I listen to you sometimes, and I've missed you for a while, so I'll have to check back in.
Well, thanks for saying that. I'm cranking more stuff out, and I hope the music just lifts you up.
All right. Thanks for calling, Judy.
It does. Thank you.
Yep, we'll see ya.
Night.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you to everybody who called in. We're going to go ahead and hear Jason's song one more time. Let me get this pulled up, and let's go ahead and hit it.
They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. I'll be riding in the whip, two-seater. Wife by my side, Lord Jesus, I need her. Fear is in the air, so thick you feel it. But I got hope, so I bag it and deal it. The media is so predictable, bro, it is boring me. So we joyride, breaking out that quarantine, windows down. Then we turn it up and sing this loud. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. Yes, I am a Christian, but I stay strapped though. When crime is on the rise at my back though, I pray to God that I never have to use it. I'm a pacifist, but I ain't foolish. Hey, Trump is killing the game and we need more of him. And we need hydroxychloroquine. And at the right time, God will step in and stop that bioweapon. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. My foundation is way too strong, and Jesus to be strong along. If chaos ensues, I will never be lost, cause I stay focused on the cross. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down. They try to hit me with the COVID. They try to take me out. I try and talk to them. They try to hit me with the COVID, but I ain't going down.
All right, awesome. Once again, Jason, incredible song. I appreciate you coming on the show. Just give everybody another recap on how they can find you and how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so you can just open up YouTube in your tab or whatever and just type in Jason Was a Gentile YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, or you can swing over to JasonWasAGentile.com.
All right, good stuff. And then on Twitter, Jason Was a Gentile as well?
Yeah, Jason Was Gentile on Twitter.
Jason Was Gentile. All right, you guys, thanks again to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who has been hanging out with us tonight. Remember, I'm taking tomorrow off, so I will see you all again on Sunday for Comfy Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, Jason. Again, I appreciate you coming here, buddy, and good luck, everyone, and God bless.